Yo, what's up, YouTube? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you guys for tuning in today, man. Today, we are checking out Mr. Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. So we're going to go ahead and read this one off. It's a donation request as I round up and finalize the requests that came through. Sorry to keep y'all guys waiting. Things get busy, but I will always come around and do your requests. Just rest assured of that. So let's go ahead and read this one off. This is, "Hi, Sean. I would love it if you could react to Johnny Cash, Man in Black, live on the Johnny Cash TV show in 1971. My man had his own TV show as well. We've checked out quite a few. This one is Man in Black. Okay, Man in Black. Have we? Okay, so Johnny Cash, we had to go back and see which ones we've checked out. I've done, in case you guys are new here, I Walk the Line, God's Gonna Cut You Down, Hurt, Boy Named Sue. Oh my God, Boy Named Sue was so great. One Piece at a Time, another great funny one. And She Used to Love Me a Lot. Man, those are some hits, dude. Johnny Cash has some absolutely amazing songs. And now we're going to get into Man in Black, as it states, live on his TV show. My man had his own TV show. Let's go ahead and get into this one. Isn't there a movie out of Johnny Cash, like with not Johnny Cash himself, but somebody like, is it called Walk the Line? Is that a true like to Johnny Cash story, or is that take its own liberties in creating like the real Hollywood style lifestyle? You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me know if that's worth checking out. But let's go ahead and hop into this one. Johnny Cash, I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. I want to thank you as well for the donation request. I don't call out names all the time because I don't know who's cool with it. But thank you. You know who you are. So I appreciate it so much, guys. I want to thank y'all for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the description if you guys are enjoying the content. Let's go ahead and dive in, see what Mr. Johnny Cash is delivering right here on the Best of Johnny Cash TV show. Let's hit play, see what's up.
Look around the other day. I talked with several of you, and we asked each other a lot of questions. I asked you questions, you asked me questions, and an idea for a song started brewing then. And since I saw you last Saturday, I wrote this song. And I just finished writing this song, the fourth or fifth rewrite this morning, so that's why I've got to have the cards to remind myself of what the words are. The last version I wrote. This song is a very personal thing, I suppose you might say, but it's the way I feel about a lot of things. This song is called The Man in Black.
What a nice story.
Well, you wonder why I always dress in black, why you never see bright colors on my back, and why does my appearance always have a somber tone? Well, there's a reason for the things that I have on. I wear the black for the poor and the beaten down, living in the hopeless, hungry side of town. And I wear it for the prisoner who has long paid for his crime, but still is there because he's a victim of the times. I wear the black for those who've never read or listened to the words that Jesus said about the road to happiness through love and charity. Why, you'd think he's talking straight to you and me. Well, we're doing mighty fine, I do suppose, in our streak of lightning cars and fancy clothes. But just so we're reminded of the ones who are held back, up front there ought to be a man in black. I wear it for the sick and lonely old, for the reckless ones whose bad trip left them cold. I wear the black in mourning for the lives that could have been. Each week we lose 100 fine young men. And yes, I wear it for the thousands who have died, believing that the Lord was on their side. And I wear it for another 100,000 who have died, believing that we all were on their side.
Wow. I like that power.
There's things that never will be right, I know. And things need changing everywhere you go. But till we start to make a move, to make a few things right, you'll never see me wear a suit of white.
Love it. Love it, so true.
I'd
Everything.
love to wear a rainbow every day, to tell the world that everything's okay. But maybe I can carry off a little darkness on my back till things are brighter. I'm the man in black.
Wow. 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 Where do you begin on that, huh? What he says, I feel to my core. What he says, I feel to my core. Um, man, what can you say? You know, I feel like we find ourselves in a world like we have today with a lot of people who only worry about their own personal outcomes. And the ones who say, if I got here, then everyone else should be able to get here. And if you didn't get here, it's your own fault. But Johnny Cash is reflecting on how I have felt since I was a child. Before I could even understand the complexities of the world, I just knew there are people that struggle and people we should help, right? And then there's those who look down on those people who shouldn't be praised. And it feels like there's always going to be an ebb and flow. But the current flow we're in is the flow where the people are being propped up and praised and worshipped are the people opposite of the values in which we should cherish, right? In which are taking care of one another, loving one another, helping people out. And that's really what this song, man, the impactful lyricism, my gosh, that's what he's talking about, right? He wears the black for the poor, the hungry, those who are without, the people who have served their terms that are still imprisoned, injustice all throughout the world. That's why he wears black. And until these are corrected, he will never be in white. And it's obviously, you know, it's not, it's deeper than face value of just talking about wearing a black suit. He is talking about why he has the scowl, why he can't smile often. And it's like, man, I totally get it, Johnny Cash. And I look forward to a future again where we have the majority of people who have that heart for others and have that level of care and empathy for others, right? Because I feel like that's when we're at our best, as a whole. That's always when we're at our best, and um, regardless of which way the world goes, me and my wife, we try our darnest to teach our kids those values. Um, you know, to still care about others, you know, care about others, care about yourself, but don't count other people out. Always be willing to listen. I mean, all the best qualities in a people, and none of us are perfect. I have tons of flaws. I have tons of flaws. So I'm not, you know, I can't judge people so harshly, but really those are just basic concepts of human decency, in my opinion, that create a great place to live when we have so many people who still hold those values. And man, I'm just looking forward to a future again where that is how a majority of people think and feel, and we want to take care of each other. I think that's just a wonderful message being delivered right here by Johnny Cash, and one that resonates with me well. And super shout out as well for talking about our soldiers, who unfortunately throughout history in many times are used as pawns, and once again today are still being used as political pawns. And that's not the way our military should be used. It's not the first time they've been used that way. It won't be the last time. But hopefully, you know, I don't know, man. You know, I'd hate to see anybody hurt, uh, especially here in our homeland as well. You know, and I hope that's not the case. Like, let's take care of one another, and for our military members, man, just shout out, right? Much love, and Johnny Cash mentioned them right here. Completely different time, I'm sure, as well, coming off the back of big wars. So yeah, just impactful song right here. Let's learn a little bit more about Johnny Cash and the Man in Black. All right, so right here we got Johnny Cash, Man in Black. This one was released in 1971. Country folk protest song. Shout out, love the protest songs. Songwriter, once again, Johnny Cash on this one. It is a protest song written and recorded by Johnny Cash, originally on his 1971 album of the same name. Okay, so that was actually the name of the album as well. And that's so cool that we got to see it fresh off the writing. He was literally saying like, hey, I just wrote this song based off a conversation he had with the audience leading up to this, and this was like his fourth revision, had the lyrics up on the screen, he said, so that he wouldn't forget them. And then just the level of intensity that he built up in like midway through the song was just, you can tell this man is wearing this on his sleeve right there. So Cash himself was known as the Man in Black for his distinctive style of onstage costuming. The lyrics are an after the fact explanation of this, with the entire song a protest statement against the treatment of poor people by wealthy politicians. Still, we're at the throat of the poor people, letting the rich live their wonderful life with 19 yachts. It's crazy, right? That political game warfare has worked forever. That the poor will always be blamed for the problems that the middle class and lower class are feeling themselves. It's so crazy, but it works. Propaganda has done its job on the masses. So he speaks about mass incarceration and the Vietnam War. In the intro to his first performance of the song, Cash revealed he had talked to some of the audience members from Vanderbilt University that weekend and was inspired to write Man in Black, revising it a few times just before the concert. That was so good. He performed the song using cars with just revised lyrics. At the end of the song, he received a standing ovation. The song, I wish we could have saw more of that at the end, right? The standing ovation. It says in 1991, Christian punk band One Bad Pig recorded a version on their album I Scream Sunday. Oh, it's literally I and then Scream Sunday, in which Johnny Cash made a guest appearance. What? That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So that's what we got with this one. Fantastic request. I want to thank you so much for this one. You know I like a good protest song. Many of y'all know that. So this was just another wonderful notch on the belt right here for me to listen to. And I love the fact that you picked a performance that also gave a little bit of the history on why he wrote it, right? That makes it hit in such a better way as well. So thank you for that. And he sounds he actually sounds better live than probably the studio recordings I've heard, which is just crazy to say. But that's just facts. And this might be the first time I saw Johnny Cash live, I believe, now that I think about it. So that was just you picked you picked a real cherry right here. So thank you for that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.